So Snake's coming and saved the day. What now? How much respect does he have for Thorfinn? Yeah, I feel like others might be afraid of him a bit. How unwavering Thorfinn was. He's acting big, then as soon as boss comes along, he just squirms, doesn't he? Yeah, it wasn't the young master doing it at all. He's learned a bit of manners. I feel like before he wouldn't even responded with his name. Ooh. Seeing Askeladd. He knows he can fight. Just instinctually he saw Askeladd in that moment and fought back. Wow. He knows he's caught him out there though. Oh, yeah. Body did react to survive there. That little smirk with the eyebrow raise, that does feel very Askeladd. Does he know that means Thorfinn can fight though? Thorfinn's going to be contemplating that, yeah. Deep down he does. What's the purpose? Yeah. Find in Vinland. Come on. Also, be sure to check out the Patreon page. You can get next week's episode right now over there. A full-length version of this so you can sync up your own footage and watch along with me. And I've got some exclusive Ghibli reactions over there. Grave of the Fireflies is already up over there, so there'll be a few more too, hopefully soon. River Take Me. River takes you out into the sea. River Take Me into the unknown. Is that him wanting to go out into the unknown and explore? Maybe. Is that what they're meaning in the lyrics? Out into the ocean, yeah. I hadn't really contemplated and thought about that. Yeah, they're all quite shallow, just aesthetic. Okay, words made it up to the master as well. I think they would have, yeah. Especially before Omar. Thorfinn isn't weak though, he's only weak mentally at the moment. Okay, he doesn't know what medicine is, he's just worried about payment, yeah. It's nice they've got people looking out for them as well though. This guy's job is to help them. Oh? She was concerned, yeah. Bells, like wedding bells. Yeah, say thank you. Patter's being lovely. I know I can teach him some manners. Yeah. He's not one for many words, Thorfinn. He's still gonna do it anyway, though. I mean, it's kind of up to them with rest days and things. It's one day closer to freedom, isn't it? One day more work. I guess Thorfinn does have like a kind of physical outlet here to release some of his emotions. He's got experience. Yeah, he knows. Look at how well built he is too. He's seen some shit, yeah.
Thorfinn.
Oh, don't reveal that you're connected. You could be part of the invasion. Aina already hates warriors anyway.
何人くらいだ ?5 10人くらいか
Uncountable, isn't it?
そんなこと知ってどうするお前戦争が嫌いなんだろ
That means he doesn't like you now.
何人かなんて覚えちゃいない
Yeah, exactly. He was at war for so long.
5つか6つくらいの頃から戦場にいたデンマーク軍の
The exact invasion that took Aina's family. Yeah, it's all of the fallen trees, like fallen bodies there as well. Can he hate him for being indoctrinated so young? Ooh.
俺は
Yeah, there is hatred in his eye there.
軽蔑するかエイナル
I don't know how connected Thorfinn actually is to fully what happened. Okay, just memories bleeding into reality a bit as well though. Is it Askeladd? Is it anyone? Did he see someone around his age with the Vikings?
何人殺したなんて覚えちゃいない
Even so, he's imagining it could be Thorfinn involved.
たくさん殺した
Thorfinn is almost becoming like his Askeladd. It could be. I don't think Aina would fall into that same trapping though. Maybe just for a moment here he's considering it. Oh, the line art, yeah. I don't think he can do it. They're really like exaggerating his muscles here as well in that scene. Back to his childhood. You see the innocence in his eyes. Just like an endless battlefield. Thorfinn's just not reacting. I thought he might wake up and just like look him in the eye, but be like completely still when looking at him, knowing he can't do it. Okay. Is this just more of Thorfinn's nightmare, the reason he's reacting though? I love the stylization of this. Ooh. Yeah, the other people he's killed that aren't just warriors or impacted. Does he have anything to say?
俺がうなされるたびに起こすんだ
It's kind of freeing him from that nightmare. Caring for him in a way.
そいつらと俺は同じだ。
Yeah, even if it wasn't directly, he's still in the same vein. There feels like a real emphasis on Aina's kind of musculature.
お前は。
いいこと一つもなかったよ。
What's Aina gonna say here? Do you regret anything?
誰かが俺らを生かしてくれたからだろうが。
Because someone's kept us alive.
なんもなかったらって。
When you're alive, that is something good happening to you, yeah. Being alive is good itself.
お前が俺の家族を殺したわけじゃねえだろうが。
I feel like that's not for certain.
思い上がんじゃねえよ。
We only know he was up north. We only know Aina was up north. I don't know if they said exactly where. I mean, Thorfinn has gone up north. He went up to York and Hull. I don't know.
起こしてくれて
Hmm.
ありがとう。
Released him from it.
たくお前の寝言のおかげですっかり。
I don't know how much anger Aina can hold. He doesn't seem the same as Thorfinn. He doesn't have that capacity. Ooh, seeing a bit of Canute. Oh, yeah. That's something I'm definitely interested in. Guessing this is him with the headband. Music feels very regal as well. Bit of opera in here. That just as a bit of a tease. End of episode tease. Okay, episode 4 of Vinland Saga. I'm very excited going forward to see the journey Thorfinn's going to go on here. Because, well, he doesn't actually want to die. You know, he said that. But when it actually came down to it, he did defend himself against Snake. Maybe because he acknowledged Snake as a worthy kind of opponent. Snake actually reminded him of Askeladd. I'm just so excited to see how he develops, what he develops into. This episode is actually called Awakening. So has he had the start of an awakening into becoming actually having a goal in life, having something to live for? That's going to be a really great arc if that's how that plays out. I'm really excited for it. And then like Snake reminding him of Askeladd and his body just kind of naturally moving. We're seeing Askeladd is still kind of haunting him. Askeladd is still there, is still a big part of him. Askeladd was such a big part of his childhood and his memory of his childhood that he can't just drop it like that. Of course, the influence is still going to be there. We are seeing that influence on him. And I think Aina is kind of just cracking the shell. He's slowly getting through little bit by little, these little bits of connection with Thorfinn, slowly kind of breaking him down so he can be rebuilt up as a whole person, kind of, in a way. You know, the kind of scolding him for his manners earlier on. I wonder if that will come up again and there'll be another situation where they're with Pata, or there'll be a situation where he does actually say thank you and Aina clocks that kind of little bit of growth as well. In reality, this episode doesn't feel like much of an eventful episode. It's just very character insight focused. I really loved, you know, we've seen Thorfinn kind of have his nightmares and seeing him react to it, but now we're in his head, we are seeing what he is seeing, and it's the killing, but then it's the kind of killing of innocence that's haunting him as well. He was, you know, attacking all of those men, and then as he does, it cuts to what looks like a mother, a kind of innocent mother that he is struck down to. And then we have this imagery of the forest with the trees cut down. He's cutting down the trees, and then he was walking through some trees that were still grown. So that I'm thinking of the symbolism. If it's trees cut down, people is killed, but there are still some trees there that are still alive. Obviously, he hasn't cut down and killed every single person he's met. There are still some there. There are still some good connections. I wonder if we'll ever see imagery of him planting, because then, even if it's not trees, it's imagery of him growing something new, growing friendships, growing relationships. I wonder if we will see that symbolism where he is no longer purely destructive, but creative as well, the kind of opposite, and he is growing something. I mean, we kind of know, once they cut down all of this forest, they're gonna grow a wheat field there, so there probably will be some of that imagery there too. And there's one thing, I don't feel like I talk about the animation enough sometimes. When he was cutting down the tree, in animation, when an object's going to move because it's outlined and it's a different art style from the background. We had a tree being felled, and then one of the trees around it, the branch was more of that kind of painted-y background, and it still wobbled. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. They've probably added like a little deformation on it and wiggled it around so it just reacts to the other tree hitting it, It was just some little detail I noticed and thought about, I wonder how they did that, and that's probably how. And then right at the end, we are teased Canute, which is very exciting. Might not be great, because what is Canute's situation at the moment, being King of England? Is he on a war path? Does it mean more death and destruction coming? There's always the kind of fear of losing Ketil and Olmar taking over and not being as nice and benevolent as a kind of leader there. And then, what happens if Thorfinn meets Canute again? Will Canute recognize him? Will he recognize Canute first? Will he go into a rage? Will he have no emotion? All of this is a consequence of Canute. Will Canute apologize and say, sorry, it was just what had to happen. I'll buy your freedom back to make it up for you or something. And maybe Thorfinn doesn't want that freedom. He doesn't want that handout. He wants to earn his own way back out of this, because it is also partially his own fault, the entire situation that he's in. So how that would play out is really interesting as well. And then if Canute's here, are there other characters? Is Floki here? Is Thorkel here? That would be an interesting catch-up. I could see Thorkel wanting to fight Thorfinn, because now Thorfinn is grown. He would be a much more interesting fight. He already was on Thorkel's level when he was a child, so now that he's grown, maybe he hasn't grown as a fighter in reality, but he probably is a bit stronger, kind of more muscular, but he hasn't been training, so I don't know if it would be as fun for Thorkel. I don't know how, is it just muscle memory, or has Thorfinn become sloppy because he hasn't been training as a warrior, hasn't been fighting in so long? And then we also had the little bit of info that Ketil does know about the situation that happened, and he's considering the consequences. And I am worried that whatever it is, that it will cause backlash onto Thorfinn and Einar, because if Ketil punishes someone, if he punishes Olmar, Olmar's going to get even more rageful and want to take it out on who he thinks is the people that caused it, take it out on Thorfinn and Einar, maybe even accuse them of being snitches in a way, even though it probably wasn't them. I don't think it would have been them. It might have even been Ernhild, who she was running around and saying everything and getting help by the sounds of it. She may have unintentionally made things worse by doing that, by letting Ketil know and kind of moving it further up the chain. It might backlash against Thorfinn and Einar there. And then again with Einar, and he was contemplating strangling Thorfinn. He was actually on top of him, about to do it, actually was maybe tensing and doing it a little bit, but pulled out after a while. I just don't know if Einar has that in him, and I have this feeling that it would make him believe he would then be indistinguishable from the warriors if he hates death and killing so much and then kills someone. Is it, you know, the classic thing of you kill a killer and there's still the same amount of killers in the world? Although there's a big loophole with that phrase, because if you kill a second one, then the number has gone down, hasn't it? But then, of course, there's the knock-on effects of that, and you might have just created a killer out of that by it being someone's dad or someone's friend or something like that. So yeah, on the other hand, you never know. The consequences are kind of a domino effect, a knock-on effect. I am really wondering as well, with Canute coming along, what his kind of headspace is here. You know, we had that whole thing about love and his kind of vision for the country. Now that he doesn't have his dad around to kind of impress and improve, how does he act as a ruler? Is he any different from anyone before? Or has he just fallen into the same trappings and the people of England aren't treated any better than they were before under Sweyn? Yeah, that is interesting to wonder about how he actually is as a leader and what the kind of consequences of his leadership style are like. Because we've seen him, he became much more of a harder person, personality wise, and with a lot more conviction. But does that mean he's become too similar to other kings again, and it's just the same cycle, and he isn't that much different from other royalty that's come before? I really wonder. Okay, so I think that's everything. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment your thoughts down below. Of course, I'd love to hear your opinions, and be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date on all future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys later.